If this swap does take place, what does the future hold for these alleged agents when they're brought to the countries they were suspected of working for?
Well, I think it's slightly different for both sides, because if the FBI is right about this alleged Russian spying, then what is going to happen is that Russians are going to be sent home. So I suppose it would be in the nature of a homecoming for them. But for the people who've been convicted of betraying Russia to be sent over to the States, and they are native Russians as well, they will be sent to a foreign country, they will be cut off from their family and friends. Yes, they will have their freedom to a certain extent, but it's going to be a very different experience for them than it is for the alleged spying going to Russia.
Well, let's focus on their families and the personal side of all of this now. Many of the suspects arrested in the US do have children. So what happens to them? Where would they end up?
Well, I think in this day and age, the humane approach would, of course, be to send the children with the parents, not to separate them, because they will have had enough of a shock as it is, with their parents being arrested out of nowhere and subject to the centre of this huge scandal. So I would assume that they would probably go with the parents, although, of course, if all they've known is American suburbia, it'll be quite a journey for them.
Now, the main players in all this are, of course, from Russia and the US. So what's the role of the UK in this reported exchange?
Well, the UK spy agencies have always had a very junior relationship to the American spy agencies, but they will be hoping to curry favour, no doubt, by brokering this exchange and perhaps potentially try and have a chance to debrief or to interrogate some of these suspects going through Britain. There's been a lot of focus in the UK, certainly on the case of Anna Chapman, because she apparently lived in London for about 4 years, and there has been speculation in the UK press that she was indeed recruited, according to the FBI, to spy while she was in London. So I should imagine that the UK spies would be very interested in trying to have a word with her.
And of course, as well as a lot of intrigue, there's a lot of history surrounding these spy scandals. The first time such an exchange took place was actually back in the 60s, wasn't it? When the American Gary Powers, was swapped for Rudolph Abel. Now, Powers was greeted at home, wasn't he? Not quite with open arms. So what kind of welcome might the people get involved in today?
Well, of course, nobody likes a spy who's been caught. But I think as well that anyone who, on either side, they will be sequestered away. They will be put somewhere secure where they will have a chance to be debriefed, to be questioned, and also to be assessed to see whether perhaps they may have been turned and sent across to spy for the other side. So there's always that sort of period where people are going to be sanitised when they go to the other country. So they may hope for a hero's welcome. That may well happen eventually. But there will be a period of adjustment and questioning and suspicion. And if all's OK, no doubt they will be pensioned off.
OK. All right. For now, many thanks. Annie Mashon, a former MI5 officer.